Hello, my fellow adventurers. I'm here with Stephanie Bryant, the creator and indie designer of a game called Threadbare. Now, Threadbare is something that I am really interested in, and so much so that I Kickstarted on it. And speaking of Kickstarters, is the Kickstarter still going on, right?
The Kickstarter is still going on until June 8th, 2016.
Okay.
And we're really excited. Our 9K stretch goal just got hit, so we
excellent.
have some crafting tutorials mixed in with all of the gaming content, including a doll's head dice bag tutorial. And our next big stretch goal is at 10,000. We're going to add a whole bunch more character forms and a lot of custom moves that you can use when you upgrade your character, and even some broken moves for when you like repair your character, but you don't actually succeed at the repair, but you get a new move anyway. So it might be something silly and maybe not even all that desirable.
Now, speaking of Threadbare, well, we haven't really discussed it. We just jumped right on in.
Jump right in.
Well, what is Threadbare about?
So Threadbare is a stitch punk role-playing game where you play a broken toy in a broken world. So every time you like take some damage, you literally lose a body part or lose the ability to use that body part. But you're a toy, so you never really die. You just kind of limp along until you can fix that part. And usually when you fix it, either just get it back to normal working, or you might upgrade it. So it's like, oh, well, I lost my arm, but hey, I found this this toy crane, and I'm gonna weld it on to where my arm used to be, and now I have a crane. So it's very hacked together, that kind of hacker space aesthetic. We call it stitch punk in the vein of the movie 9 or the Sid's toys from Toy Story.
Oh.
Things like that kind of like smash together and make something new and creative out of that.
Yeah, because I remember. Well, yesterday I went up to your room in which you were doing your demo of it, and the one you're explaining this, and the way you described it was, this ephemeral piece. You could be nothing left other than just a rag or a band or something like
right.
that, or
you could
some ephemeral fluff.
You could just be like the stuffing that was left that really still has all of you, what makes you, but maybe you don't have anything really that any limbs left, or your tail's gone, or like everything else could be missing, and then you could just sort of bounce along until you start picking up more things, rather like the popular video game Katamari Damacy, where it's like, oh, now you're just a ball of paper clips and staples and whatever we found along the way. So yeah. And
it just, I really like that. Yeah, when I heard you say that, I'm going, wow, that's really, it really gets at the meat of the game that you're trying to provide.
It does, and the real meat of the game is that this is a game about building and fixing things that are broken. It really gets into, because my favorite thing is to make stuff. I love to craft things. I'm a knitter, and I just like to work with my hands like that. And so it really gets into that, and it's all about like building things and making friendships, and it's a lot less about getting into fights. A lot of role-playing games are about fighting.
Yeah.
The big combat mechanics. Combat in my game is handled in about 5 minutes.
Run away.
Well, yeah, actually there is a runaway move. That is
okay.
the I'm avoiding combat or I'm avoiding getting hurt move is called run away. But if you actually get into combat, which you as a party, as a group, the players can all decide we're never going to get into combat. That's just not on the table. Or you could say we could get into combat. And if that's the case, then combat is resolved like this. Everybody takes some damage, and then everybody goes around and describes how we won the fight. Because you always win. The players always win the fight. They have the narrative control. They sacrifice a part, and then we talk about like how did it turn out.
Oh, well, that seems odd, because there's something nice about some games in which you actually lose.
It's true. And the players could decide that losing the fight is a win condition for them.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's, the question isn't how does Darrow the dinosaur win the fight? How does he, what's a win for him? It's what's a win for you. So if for you, it's better for him to lose because maybe losing this fight gets him information, or maybe losing this fight gets him in with the group that he's trying to infiltrate, or maybe losing this fight, he doesn't really actually care about this fight at all, and he would rather lose because maybe that's just kind of who he is, like I just don't really want to fight at all. I had one group that was all teenage girls, and it was my niece's friends, and they got into a fight, and only one of the players actually wanted to be in actual combat. The other ones, they were okay with it being a fight, but they were all like, okay, we got hurt. I got hurt because I was running along this way and I fell off of the wall. Or, oh, I got hurt because we got into a slap fight, which isn't really a serious fight, just, like a little, almost like a, I don't actually want to hurt you kind of fight, and I tripped. It was just like they all picked ways that they got damaged that weren't really like fist to fist kind of fighting, and that's really in the spirit of the game, in my opinion.
Now, this game that you're trying to get it. It sounds like it's for kids, but then it sounds like it's for adults. I mean, what's the age range that you're trying to hit?
Well, it scales pretty well. You can play it with kids, and you can scale it to we don't want to have actual fighting. If the adults are uncomfortable having a game where they fight with kids, I've found that most kids don't mind having combat games because to them it's still all play.
Yeah.
Adults tend to be more uncomfortable with it. I'm uncomfortable with it because to adults fighting actually happens, and that's a real risk and a threat. So with kids, you can scale it. I would say that kids under 8 don't really need rules for role playing, and so they're natural role players. They just want to play make believe with their toys. You don't need Threadbare for that. Threadbare is for the
So it's for more of the older.
It is, and
it's more cerebral type game.
Yeah, and it's really more for people who have either forgotten or are starting to forget how to play with make believe with their toys, or they want to play make believe with their toys with their kids, and kind of bridge the generation gap that way.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I will honestly say that when I play with adults, they love this game because every time I've played with adults, just about somebody comes to the table with an idea already in mind of their favorite childhood toy, and they want to bring it to the table, and they want to play. It looks like they want to just revisit that old friend for a few hours, and that is a magical moment right there.
That is.
And then, of course, we break them, and I feel bad, but not too bad because it's just in our imaginations. So.
Now, you're an indie game designer. Are there anything else that you can tell us that you are possibly working on?
Well, a lot of what I've been recently working on is in the pipeline for publication. So, there's a few things that are coming down the pipe soon.
So we can expect something from you.
Yeah, well, it won't actually be for me because these are projects I've worked on for other publishers. Like I worked on the Book of Changing Years for Pelgrane Press. It's a Time Watch supplement.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a few other Time Watch adventures that I have written for my own group that I may polish up and release eventually. I happen to love that system because it's, I don't know, it jives with me for some reason.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I don't have that one yet.
It's a gumshoe-based system. And
like
then,
Noir?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I love Noir.
But in this case, it's more pulpy because it's time travel, so it's more like you're all time cops.
Oh, okay.
And that's just incredibly fun. So for like my personal indie projects, I'm really focusing on Threadbare for a while because once the Kickstarter is over, a lot of things have to happen to make the book happen, and hiring a lot of freelancers that are going to work on it. But after that, I've got a LARP that I've worked on with a friend. I have just here at the con, I came up with an idea for a card game that I think might actually be kind of fun, so we might try that one out.
I got a card game too that I'm trying to work
We
on.
should talk. We should talk.
Well,
It'd be fun.
I'm here all weekend.
Yeah. I have another Apocalypse World based game. Threadbare is Apocalypse World based. I have another Apocalypse World game based game that I'm thinking about progressing with, which is like post-apocalyptic, and everybody who's left. I kind of have this, like everybody who's left. So in Threadbare, everybody who's left is a toy. In this other one, everybody who's left is somehow a monster. Mm-hmm. So, like, what happens to the vampires when all the humans are gone? It's kind of
that's a good question.
It's a little famine there. They have a little challenge to replace their hunting supply. So things like that, where what do you do if you're a monster that either you've hidden from humans for a long time, or you relied on them, and there's sort of an interplay there of now there's scarcity.
Oh, that's very nice. Is there anything else that you want to add here?
The Kickstarter ends on June 8th.
June 8th.
It's a fun game, and when you back it, you immediately get access to the playtest documents, so you can play it within hours of backing the project.
And it's good. It's good. I'm on the Kickstarter. It's good. I'm on the Kickstarter, and I've read the rules, and unfortunately, where I am right now, I don't got anyone around to play with.
Yeah.
I live up in, well, it don't matter here nor there. That's all. Stephanie, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it.
Oh,
really
my goodness. Hey, keep adventuring.
All right, thanks.